What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is me, New Alpha JP, or New Alpha Japan, and I'm here to discuss what I think is one of the most pivotal and yet overlooked issues when playing PUBG, and that has to do with mental block, or in other words, dealing with anxiety when playing Players Unknown Battlegrounds. Now, there are a lot of reasons as to why people experience a lot of mental block or anxiety throughout the game. It could be something personal, more or less. It's of course a psychological thing that can be, kind of related back to maybe outside struggles, not necessarily within the game, but perhaps there are things in your life that are causing you to feel this way. And so I felt it was only right to create a video on how to overcome mental block in PUBG, because like many of us, we've all experienced some sort of mental fatigue or mental block where just, everything just doesn't seem to go the way that it should. And so I'm going to go over briefly 3 surefire ways that you can overcome mental block and become more successful in the world of Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. The first thing we're going to look at is basically, we're going to look at this. Give me a second here. So the first rule is knowing where you went wrong. Knowing where you went wrong is perhaps one of the things that most players don't tend to do when playing PUBG. Most players tend to just, throw themselves into the game and not really come up with a strategy to, help them survive over the long term. And this can cause a lot of problems, especially, again, mental block, where you're so adamant on starting the game, but you don't really have a method of approach, or at least you're not questioning where you're going wrong in your approach. And this is what I'm going to try to emphasize here. So anxiety stems from the failure of not being in the present moment. That's where most anxiety stems from. A lot of players tend to overthink or overanalyze instead of just simply being in the moment and letting things happen as they happen. And unfortunately, a lot of players tend to fall into that. They fall prey to their own sort of deadly poison, if you will. And so what happens is that when you start to overthink and overanalyze, you fail to understand where you're going wrong. You fail to kind of look at things from a much more kind of bigger perspective. And instead of questioning, oh, what could I have done better? What did I do wrong in this situation versus that situation? Instead, you kind of, subconsciously run into the problem of, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to play the game and whatever happens, happens. With that mentality, you tend to create a very slow process of approach. And what I mean by that is when you don't have an idea of what it is you're doing wrong and what you can do to improve, you tend to be very static. You tend to be very stiff in your approach because you're not really questioning what you can improve on. You're just you're picking up a gun, pick a couple shots, and if you get a shot, you feel good. You feel satisfied. Oh yeah, I got a kill. Great. But why did you get the kill? Why did you get the kill versus, dying? What could I have done better to even survive longer? What could I have done to get more kills? That's the problem I think players don't realize, is they're not asking enough questions. And this is where the issue of mental block can really become a very big issue, and that's where anxiety comes into play, because you're kind of like you're kind of unaware of what could potentially happen in front of you. So for me in this case, I'm showing you an example. I'm always prepared as to what could happen, who can come up in front of my face. You know, there's always, to me, there's always some sort of, there's always some thought process behind what I'm doing. It's, what the heck? That was so weird. I knew I picked the gun up, but whatever. Anyway, the whole point is that if you're not really considering where you're going, why you're going there, how long will you be staying at this place for? There's someone in the house over there, by the way. So I'm going to actually sneak up and try and go for the kill. If I can. He's going to be coming over this way. The house over there. So I'm just going to try and punch his window out and jump over. Just go for that kill. So you got to be very decisive, is what I'm trying to say. When you're decisive, good things happen. When you're not decisive, how did he get in that house so fast? Okay, I gotta try and kill this guy inside. What the hell? You see that? I swear this guy was already here. Hold on a second, I'm trying to just... There we go. Oh, that was nuts. I shot him, and he shot me only like 2 shots. And the shot he was on his body. But anyway, going back to the point, this is a great example. Is okay, I ran up the stairs, I saw the enemy, and I was very confident knowing that I would get the kill. So what went wrong there? What could I have done better? Right? It's trying to analyze your results. It's not just, okay, I lost, exit lobby, go back into the game. Take some time to really, you know, just kind of calculate and think about your actions, what you did wrong, what your habits were. You know, could I have shot him, you know, a lot faster? Could I have taken a different route? You know, of course there are some things that are completely out of your control, but don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. I think the problem with a lot of players is they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of losing. But losing is one of the first steps to becoming a successful and strong player, more or less a confident player in any game, not just PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but any game that you pick up and play. So knowing where you went wrong is the first step to becoming a successful player in PUBG. Second, I want to take a look at not creating a game plan. I want to emphasize that even more. I want to go into more detail with this, because when you don't create a game plan, what happens is you're going into a game, you're going into a match without any idea as to what potentially could unfold throughout the game. That could mean things like, where are my enemies at? Who landed in front of me, next to me, behind me when we jumped out of the airplane? You know, what weapons do I want to get? What healing items do I need? Where's my escape route going to be? After I land, you know, just where am I going to place myself in order to come up with the next plan? So not asking yourselves these questions as you play along really results in poor performance when it comes to playing PUBG. And this is why a lot of players don't end up getting to, you know, top 5, even top 2. Now, I'm not going to try and bring ranking into the equation, because I don't want to make it seem like, you know, placing top 10 or placing top 5 is important. But you want to set goals for yourself. And setting up a game plan is a lot like setting up a goal. What is it that you want to accomplish, and at what rate do you want to accomplish it? Do you want to take it slow? Do you want to go fast? Knowing a game plan, or having a game plan, will help to better prepare you for what's to come. And again, if you end up getting to top 10 or even top 5, top 2, then you have some sort of mental reward for your game plan, for your hard work. But none, I wouldn't say none, but a lot of players fail to do this. And this is why they end up, you know, dropping out at 98, or drop out at like 70th. And then they get mad thinking, oh my gosh, the game is terrible, PUBG is so bad, the game mechanics are terrible. When in fact, it's not the game that's killing you, it's you're killing yourself. Now, mind you, there are going to be circumstances where the game does take you by surprise and there are, you know, some bugs that may need to be fixed. But the game as a whole is not one to blame. You have to put blame on your own behavior, your own bad habits, because it's your habits that are what's crippling you. It's your habits that are causing you to make these errors and make poor judgments. So when you're able to create a game plan, like right now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, Gatka's going to be where I want to go. After Gatka, I'm most likely going to want to go towards maybe Pochinki or even toward the ruins because it's very close by, and I can establish a kind of a mid-game prep going forward. Now see, I'm looking around me and I see a couple guys right near me, which means I'm going to have to be fighting for some sort of position to get a weapon. So knowing this is always pivotal. Knowing your surroundings, there's like 5 people on the top of that roof. So, you know, just knowing where your position is will certainly help you. And there's someone obviously coming behind me, so I'm going to try and be very, very mindful of him. If I can't get a weapon, that's fine. And I've just trapped myself in this room, so this is kind of risky. Nothing's in this house, but luckily the vaulting system allows me to kind of play a safer game now. You can escape situations like that. Ooh, that's not good. It jumped out in the open. That's fine. Oof, right in the back. That's fine. But again, you know, having this this mental awareness will give you mental clarity. So don't focus too much on this. I think the problem that a lot of players run into is they're trying so hard, desperately, to cling on to this number to the right hand side. They think that this number means everything. I need to get top 10. I need to get top 20. When the truth is, you don't need to get anything. What you need to focus on is coming up with a solution to avoid dying. And from there, you can help to develop a better strategy, a better routine to help you becoming the top 20, the top 10, the top 5, and even number 1. Now, with that being said, we're going to go into our final point here before we go and close off the video. And the last thing that I want to further emphasize that kind of culminates everything I've explained is being patient. Patience is something that so many people overlook. It's one of the greatest assets that anybody can possess in life, not just with PUBG, but in life in general. Being patient, it's not about just being able to wait. It's being patient is more or less knowing how to respond when you're waiting for something. How are you responding when something is not going the way that it should? Patience is not just about sitting there and twiddling your thumbs and hopefully an opportunity will pass you by. No. Being patient is all about learning to kind of understand, okay, what I want right now isn't coming to me, so therefore I need to wait. I need to be a little bit more aware of what's going on around me, and from there I can better assess what to do next. So patience is so pivotal, because this can really determine whether you live or you die in PUBG. If you're a very patient player, chances are, like myself, you tend to place top 10 quite consistently. And I'm not trying to sound like a, you know, like a gloater or that I'm bragging or anything. I place top 10 consistently because I'm patient. I'm patient, I create game plans, and I'm always asking myself, how can I do better? How can I improve? And through the patience, through this mental awareness, through this consistent effort of always trying to overcome overcome situations in your mind, overcome boundaries that are placed in front of you, you become better equipped. And I don't know what's happening with the sound, but I think there's a bug. But it's okay. It's a test server, so it's a given. But anyway, being very patient allows you to take things slow, and it allows your brain to develop new ideas as you progress through the game. When you're impatient, you tend to be in that fight or flight mode because you're kind of unsure as to what's going to happen. You want to get weapons fast, you want to get kills fast, but then you end up dying fast because you didn't establish some sort of strategy around survival. Your initial gut feeling was, let me just jump in, let me just get a kill, and that's it. I'm gonna feel good. But what made you feel good about getting that kill? Was that kill effective? Or was it just a very random kill that you somehow got lucky and your opponent just ran into a bullet? Because let's be honest, there are a lot of players out there who sadly they run into bullets. They're very unaware, and they're the type of players who, like I said, don't have a game plan. And so they're the type of players that tend to run into random bullets and random shotgun bullets. And then they're the same ones who complain, oh, this game sucks. Oh, PUBG is unfair. Oh, PUBG is full of cheaters. Oh, I suck. Yeah, of course you suck. If you tell yourself you suck. You understand? So being patient in PUBG is so paramount in terms of survival, in terms of just being a better player, because you come into the game a lot more calm, a lot more controlled, a lot more prepared for the long term. You're not just simply kind of racing through the game, unaware of what you want to do, how you're going to do it, how you're going to maximize your efforts. So getting out of that negative state is one of the surefire ways to becoming a very, very strong player in PUBG. And again, you need to just understand in your mind, what is it that I need to do? How can I do it? Why am I doing it? And how I can get better. So when you answer those questions in your mind, you'll go into PUBG feeling a lot more calm, a lot more aware, and before you know it, you'll be out of the top 50 placement, and you'll be singing merrily as you make your way towards top 10. With that being said, my name is New Alpha Japan. I'm gonna try and get this kill. That was a bad shot. Let's make it happen. Alright, so he just went in. That's fine. I missed my shots twice there, but it's okay. I think you guys get the point. And the point is, don't worry about losing. Losing is part of the game. If losing wasn't meant to be in the game, we would not have these ranks, we would not have these numbers, and we would most certainly not have any deaths. So, with that being said, thanks again for stopping in. My name again is New Alpha Japan. I do hope this video has helped you become a little bit more aware of what you need to do. Until next time, for all things gaming, always keep it locked right here on Honey's Gaming. Take care, get good, and keep playing. Cheers.